I feel good. I knew that I would now. I feel good. I knew that I would now. So good. So good. So Sunday for you. Oh, 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 oh. Did you catch all that? Because I just wore myself out. Okay. Anyways, enough of that silliness. I'm just kidding. There's no microphone today, so I'm going to yell as best as I can. Like, I'm going to uprise my voice as loud as I possibly can so all of you can hear me. Which is probably going to suck because I'll probably get a sore throat and, whatever. Anyway, we have no microphone. It turns out that last week when we were filming, or was it Thursday?
Thursday.
Yeah, for breakfast at Tiffany's, it went out like it needed to be charged. And then we're like, So I went to plug it in today. Not connecting. So yeah, we've already ordered another one. Doesn't work for any of our devices. So now we need to order a third one. Just letting y'all know that as soon as we order a better one, you'll know because you'll be able to hear me better.
Okay, that's enough.
So anyway, let's see who's all here. Oh, hi, I'm Tiffany. Welcome to my quilting life. It's Sunday, so Sunday, where we feel good and so on a Sunday. We got Raina here, Mary, Joanna, Melena, Karen, Kathy, Dawn, Lori, Suzette, Kay, Maria, Leanne, Flicky Chicky, Jean, June, Cheryl, Donna, Tina, Heather, Kim, Angela, Pat, and so many more. Welcome, everyone. If I didn't call your name, hello. All right, so we're just sewing and chatting. I know you guys are tired of my scraps because, well, I got a bunch of unsubscribers last week. But guess what? I got to finish these scraps and turn them into quilts so that I can be done with them. And I'm not going to stop until they're done. Hence, what's on the wall behind me. I decided with my scraps, I'm going to turn it into not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 quilts. Because I made 2 already.
I thought it was 4.
No, 5. 5 quilts. I got 2 done. They just need borders. But the tops are together. They're plain squares. And then I'm working on this one, which is wonky, because I said I wanted wonky. So I went ahead and decided, you know what? There was 380 squares of those little tiny squares, these center things. There was 380 of those. So 380, 100, 200, and 300, 3 quilts. Then 80 of them make the 4th quilt. And all the 2.5-inch strips that I used makes the leftovers of that is going to make the 5th quilt. So I'm going to show you how I cut my wonky colors up into these wonky-ness. And then I'm just going to sew this all together. So while I'm doing all that, you guys can ask questions. We can hang out, chat, all those things. But I'm not really going to give you any direction besides showing you how funky I cut these pieces. So that's about it. So here I have a block. It is about almost 8 inches, but it's about 7 3/4. It's almost 8. But anyway, some of them, whatever. I want them wonky, so I grabbed a 6.5-inch ruler. I place it on here in a wonky manner, like so. Just like this. Oh, I got to make sure that all the corners are at least touched somewhere. And then I cut, spin it around, cut. So now I have, stuck right there, a 6.5-inch wonky block, which will go right here. They're in no particular order because there's over 300, colors of fabric in here. So again, I just do that same thing. Ruler, lay it wonky. It doesn't matter how wonky. It could be wonky to one side, the other side. It don't matter. Just putting it on here, making 2 cuts, spin it around, turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit crazy. Okay, there we go. And then I have a wonky block, which will go right here. Again, it's super easy, except I made it even easier. I stacked them So if one has got this way, on top of that, I'm going to stack the flat one with no seam like this. And then I'll stack another one the opposite direction like this. Because again, they're wonky. Put the ruler on there. Make sure that it's getting a lot of wonkiness. Cut. Cut. Spin it around. Cut. And cut.
Will you be at QuiltCon all the days?
Yes, I will be at QuiltCon every single day of QuiltCon. So now I have 3 wonky squares, which will go here, here, and there. Only a few more left to go. We saved some so that I could show you guys how I'm cutting them wonky. You can stack 2, you can stack 3, however many you want to stack. As long as you make sure they're as best as they can be on top of each other. Let's make this one go the opposite direction as the rest. Spin it, cut it, cut it. And no, I'm not saving this scrap. In a normal world where Tiffy saves everything, I would cut a 1-inch square out of every single one of these. I'm not doing that. I have enough 1-inch squares to last me 500 years. I don't need any more.
When is QuiltCon?
QuiltCon is the February 18th or 19th, 20th, and 21st, 22nd. I don't know. Somebody knows out there. Somebody that's going to
February.
QuiltCon. February. That's what I said. February, right? Somebody out there in the world of out theirs can say it in the chat, because I'm pretty sure somebody will be there that's out there in the YouTubes, out there in the YouTubes. Look at that, 2 more pieces to cut, and then I will be able to sew this together. How quick was that? I'm so speedy. Well, let's make these ones go this way instead. Turn. I know I'm wasting a lot of fabric. This is not my norm, let me tell you. But you know what? Garbage. It's against all of my rules. That one and this one. So this is 10 rows of 10. It is a 10 by 10. Oops, let's put that over there. Let's put that over there. I'm done with that. And all I have to do now is pick the rows up and sew them together. And we can hang out and chat while I do that. So I'm going to grab row 1. They're all in opposite. So a straight is always next to seams. That way there's no accidental having to nest up, which there shouldn't be anyway because it's crooked, but I wanted a wonky one. So I just split it all up. So I'm going to grab down my first 10. And this one does have 20. This one does have 20 of this color in it. So that way the border can have that. Come over here, chair.
It's running away.
My chair is running away. Okay. Whew. I'm tying my hair up. I realize once I start sewing, there's no need for it to be down. I chopped my hair today too. Well, I didn't chop it. I trimmed it. I needed a trim. So I trimmed my hair. All right. 1 and 2. So, any questions or anything, just ask. I'm here. We can talk. I don't know what to talk about. You guys bring up the subjects. I don't really have a microphone, so you can't hear me over my sewing if I sew while chatting.
They can apparently can hear you. They say you sound better.
Oh, well, I'm glad. That just means the phone microphone is actually working like it's supposed to. I'm also using, I have a bunch of these filled with thread on bobbins. I don't even know how to mix them up with the colors they go with. You know, I just have tons of these things filled with thread. So I have decided to start using them all up so that they can have new colors on them. Of the stuff I know I have. Make it work better. What sewing machine do I have? I have a Juki TL 2010Q. Scott has placed a link into the chat for you guys to check it out. I have no idea what's happening here. Okay.
Are scraps your favorite?
Scraps are not my favorite, but I love to sew them. So I don't know if that makes it my favorite. My favorite is to just create something new, whether it be with scraps or not with scraps. So I guess whatever. They're not my favorite and they're not my favorite, if that makes any sense at all. I just enjoy sewing. Whether it's with all the junk that I already have here or if it's with something new.
Will you be having a meetup at QuiltCon?
Yes and no. My QuiltCon, I don't know how to schedule a, hey, let's meet up with Tiffany from Tiffany's Quilting Life. I think it's just going to be, stay tuned for Instagram and or Facebook group posts or YouTube community tab posts. So if you don't use Facebook, but you use Instagram, you'll know where to find me there. If you don't use Facebook or whatever. So, you know, you just have to check those often. And I might post, hey, at 3 o'clock, I will be at blah, 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 little sitting area next to the blah, blah, blah area, you know?
If they see you, just tell them. Come over.
But if you see me, you just come up, say hi, tell me who you are, because I can always read the name tags because you'll be wearing a name tag. Well, sometimes they get flipped backwards and then you'll be talking for like 10 minutes and be like, what in the heck is this lady's name? It just happens to me. I don't know who you are, you know? So, and if I've met you before and I see you again, I'm very sorry if I don't remember who you are, or your name at least, because I meet a lot of people and I am a face rememberer, but not a name rememberer. And I know you know what I mean. Because it doesn't just happen to me. All right, row uno. I'm just going to move that way. Lay that right there. Just like that. Poof. Out of my way. Next.
Tell them you'll be in the wheelchair thingy.
Yeah, I'll be most likely using a scooter. If I don't have a scooter, I'll have my walker because that's probably the only way I'm going to make it through. Is either my walker or scooter, because I'm going to bring my walker just in case. But Becca from Becca reserved us a scooter, so we'll see. I'm just pressing my seams on this towards the one that's a straight one. That way there's no whatever. So every other row is opposite, so there's nothing but nesting the actual seams to nest. This whole thing should go together really easily. But I'm making do with my scraps, and there's like over 200 different fabrics in here. Probably more closer to like 300 different fabrics.
Another lady reserved a scooter. She said you guys can race.
Yep, we can race. Scooter races. I had tried to find my own scooter. That way I can own one for future, quilt shows and stuff. But that's just, I didn't realize scooters are like $1,500, And then I found a used one, but it didn't have a battery. Guess what? The battery was like $500 on its own when I looked on the scooter shop place local here in town. I was like, really? Wow. So that's a little out of my thing. I just rent them when I go places that have scooter rentals. I mean, I do have a wheelchair. It's really hard to lug it around, but I do have one. And I think at a QuiltCon kind of thing, if you've ever been to QuiltCon or any kind of big show, I think the pushing myself on a wheelchair, I would probably wear myself out faster than if I was just to walk and deal with the pain, But all of us that have mobility issues, it's hard to get through these big shows if you have struggles. So just beware. And if you are going to be there all 4 days, bring 2 pairs of shoes, one for day 1 and day 3, and a different pair for day 2 and day 4. That way your feet aren't, totally worn out just in that one pair of shoes. Very smart. Extra socks too, just in case you're a foot sweater. The floors are really hard. It's going to ache. I think Phoenix Convention Center is way worse than when I was in North Carolina at that convention center. I think the Phoenix one, the floors are absolutely horrid. So for those of you who already walk a mile a day, just know that the terrain you walk on that mile a day is not the same as the floor at the QuiltCon, the Phoenix Convention Center. It's going to be not the same. All right. Row 3. This one's like so messy seeming. But I really wanted one funky cut one, Okay, I feel like I went silent.
What's the parking like at the convention center?
What is the parking like at the convention center? Well, it's all you have to pay for. You have to pay for parking anywhere you park. They have from what I remember, when you face out front the convention center, there's another part of the convention center across the street. Well, if you go to that red light that's literally right there at the corner of who knows what and who knows what, there's a parking structure right there that you pay for parking. You go in, parking tower, what parking garage, that's what it's called. You go into one of those things, but you have to pay for the parking in there. And then I'm not sure if the one for the baseball or football state, I think it's a baseball stadium that's right there, where me and Eric filmed from that one year for So Sunday. I think that there's a parking garage there too, but I'm not sure if that one's for the stadium or not. But all the rest of the street parking is the coin thing. Yeah. What are those things called?
Meters.
Meters, parking meters. So just know you're probably going to have to pay for parking. And to get out of that, you can actually probably save money by just getting an Uber from your hotel, motel, Airbnb, whatever you're staying at, to the convention center, and then have that same Uber pick you up at whatever time you want to come home, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, whenever it closes, you know? That might actually be cheaper than it costs to pay for the parking in the garage for the day.
That's a good idea. It might be.
So,
but I don't know how much an Uber costs.
I don't know how much an Uber costs either. We've never used it. But it's just an idea. I know some people like to have their own car so they can leave for lunch or something, but all the places that you can go eat, they have eating places in the convention center. I will say that those are kind of outrageously expensive, but there are food places, little restaurants and stuff all around that whole area that are in walking distance. I know that Eric, Ian, and I went out to eat at not El Pollo Loco. What was it called? We went somewhere and I had a burrito, and they had burritos or tacos or something. But it was literally down the street, up 2 blocks, which are really small. And then, yeah, we were at food. So, and there was tons more in between. But there are concessions inside the convention center. All right, room 3. Just know that QuiltCon will be fun. There are going to be faces that you see on YouTube there. Lots of familiar faces. There always is. So make sure you get your chance to go up and say hi or take a selfie with them. That's all I have to offer anybody at QuiltCon this year anyway. I didn't get any stickers made, which I thought about it last minute, and I was like, yeah, they're not going to be here in time if I get some. So instead, just ask for a selfie. Then you'll have a lasting memory.
What's your favorite part of QuiltCon?
My favorite part of QuiltCon? I like the quilts. I love to just walk through the quilt area back and forth a bazillion times, or stroll through it on a, scooter. I love the quilts. How do I put this without making it sound weird? I could care less about all the booths that sell things. I mean, obviously it's nice to look at all the cool things and get ideas, but I really don't buy anything. I mean, there's been a couple things that I've bought that I couldn't find anywhere else, or it was an actual deal at QuiltCon, but I actually prefer the quilt side. Looking at the quilts, reading all the information about the quilts, the designer, what, if it says, some of them will say, what they were thinking when they were designing it, that it was because of a blah, 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 or something happened in their life that made them make this, or, you know what I mean? So I like the quilts. That's my favorite part. But if you want to consider my favorite part is technically hanging out with all of my friends and meeting all of you guys. But if you really need to know where to find me, I'm usually on the side where the quilts are, because I love to look at the quilts.
What kind of paper do you get for quilted postcards?
What kind of what?
Paper do you get for quilted postcards?
I actually do not make quilted postcards. So if you're interested in making paper quilted postcards with the papers and all the things for that, check out Becca, or check out Off Kilter Crafter Ian. He even has a ruler that he sells, the postcard ruler, so that you can have pristine postcards every single time. They talk about the paper that they use, the whatever. They are the ones that do the postcards. I just don't do that. I don't know why I don't. I probably should have tried one by now, but I like making mini quilts. Does that count? I just don't send them in the mail. I like getting them, though. I have plenty of quilted postcards up on the wall. People have sent them to me. Even Becca made me one up here on the shelf that, I don't know if you can see it up there, but it's my plaque when I hit 50, was it 50,000 subs? She sent that. Because YouTubers don't get a plaque until you're at 100,000. So she made me a play button instead. Yeah, it was 50,000. So she congratulated me on 50,000 and gave me a quilted postcard, which was like perfect, because I'll probably, my goal is, passing 100,000, but if I don't see it anytime soon, well, then this is as good as it gets right here. That's my plaque. My YouTube play button.
Oh, do you have any quilts in the quilt show?
I do not have any quilts in the show because I did not get any done in time. Goals for next time. My dream quilt is still hanging in there. I don't know when I'll ever get to it, but when I do, you'll know, because you'll see it. I mean, I do have a couple show quilts that I could have used, but they're not very modern-y. So, but my dream quilt is more of a modern rendition of a traditional style quilt. So it makes it modern. That was what I was going to enter.
You didn't enter your little ink blot quilt?
I did not enter my ink splotch quilt. I know I should have. I should have got to it. It's literally hanging right there in the closet. I could see it, but I did not enter it. I wanted to have the dream quilt and that. I wanted to have them both.
No, somebody just bought you backing fabric yesterday, so you can finish some.
Yeah. Quilts. Scott bought me a bunch of backing fabric yesterday online, so that way I can start finishing a bunch of quilts with some 108, because I have a lot of big quilts. And I wasn't really in the mood because I have a lot of fabric. You guys have seen that, but none of them are the amount of yardage I need to have one solid color on the back. Most of the quilts needed 8 yards or more. So, you know, I needed 108. So he bought me 20 different 108 cuts by 108, 108 inches by 3 yard cuts.
Can you show the ink blot?
Yeah. I will show you my little ink splotch quilt. Let me put that down. Let me see if I can't hold it up without the hanger. That's my little ink splotch quilt. And that's the back. I'll hold it steady so you can read it. Yeah, that's that. It's got a sleeve on it and everything. I was on the next row anyway. Stay standing.
What's your dream quilt?
My dream quilt is a star quilt that I made from a dream I had. I don't remember what video I showed the quilt top in. It's hanging in the closet, but I think I laid it out recently, like a couple months back. Didn't I? In the living room?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just tell me a video.
Yeah, there's a video of me making it, sort of making it. Most of it's off camera, but some of it was on camera. But yeah, the dream quilt was all scraps. It was from my string bin. And then I used white for the background. That was weird.
When you do maintenance on the Juki, do you remove the bottom to get the stuff underneath?
Yes, when I clean the Juki, I take it all apart. When I just do like a regular quick cleaning, I just clean it out like this, but I take the needle plate off.
You got videos on it.
Huh?
You have videos on it.
Yeah, I have a video on how I take it apart. But also underneath the Juki, there's a lip, a little cubby hole that you can use to take off if you don't feel comfortable taking the whole tray off on the bottom. You just open that cubby hole and vacuum out what's in there. Because it does get a lot of buildup in the bottom. Especially if you use the thread cutter all the time like I do. But just the fact of using cotton thread makes a mess in any machine, so it's best if you clean it.
How often do you clean yours?
How often do I clean my machine? Well, you know, every once in a while I get the stuff out from inside. It used to be every 6 months I take it apart and clean it. Now it's more like once a year. Just know that I do keep the machine as clean as I possibly can. It's just not pristine like I used to keep it.
What was your biggest mistake you ever made in a quilt?
The biggest mistake I ever made in a quilt. Honestly, I don't know. Other than seam ripping, I haven't really, and I'm not going to jinx myself by saying this, I hope. I haven't actually made a quilt, had the whole top together, loaded it on the long arm, go to quilt it and realize one of my blocks is upside down, backwards or something. I haven't done that yet. Most times I catch things while I'm in the process of putting it together like this. And I have caught one block turned backwards before and ripped out. It was a quilt top, and then I just ripped out the little piece that was flipped backwards, like the wrong side of fabric. I think I actually did that on camera, how to rip that area out. I've had to do it on some client quilts before. I see it because I loaded on the long arm, so I see everything. So I'm like, oh, did you want me to fix this? Most of the times they say no, just leave it.
Missouri Star Quilt Company has 50 weight king thread, 300 yards for $15. Is that a good price?
No. 15 yards.
50 weight thread, 3,000 yards for $15.
50 weight, 500 yards, so it's bigger than this.
Yeah, 3,000 yards.
So yeah, it would be the, I don't know how many yards are on these. These are 1,200 yards. So yeah, that would be a good price.
We just get yours at Connecting Threads, right?
Yeah, I get my thread now at Connecting Threads. I originally started buying thread on Superior Threads. That's where you can get custom threads. But now I just get Connecting Threads. Essentials. I mainly just use Essentials thread by Connecting Threads here on the machine now. And it's also 50 weight.
Do you make t-shirt blankets?
Do I make what?
T-shirt blankets.
I make t-shirt quilts, yes.
She asked about quilts and she asked if you make blankets too. Is that different? T-shirt blanket?
I don't know if a t-shirt blanket is any different than a t-shirt quilt.
Okay. Because she asked about t-shirt quilts and then she asked if you make t-shirt blankets. Is your thread cotton or blend?
It's cotton. 100% cotton.
What color is your favorite besides purple?
What color is my favorite besides purple is black. The absence of color, or maybe all the colors jumbled together. I don't know which one it really is considered. White is the absence of color to me, but you know. Purple and black are my favorite colors. Then pink is on that, list, about the third color. And then everything else is just, I like them all equally. All right, one more row and then I...
Oh, the blanket doesn't have batting. So do you just do t-shirts with no batting in?
Yeah, I've never done that before. I have made what I call, in my words, a quilumpeter, which is a quilt comforter out of t-shirts. Of course, I've made plenty of quilumfeters out of all sorts of things, but I have made a quilumpeter out of t-shirts. Which has batting in it, but it's really, really puffy like a comforter. And it was sewn like a comforter. And then, they turned it around and put it together right side out and blah, blah, blah. And then I did a couple tack stitches on it. already did that. What am I doing it again for? I don't know. Will you plug my iron in for me?
Yeah. You don't want the good little sucker? You want the junk and theory?
I want the big one so I can do these quickly. Oh. And you can move the.
I'm even going to fill it up with water for you.
Yeah, and you can move the whatever mat.
Oh, you don't want that?
Nope.
Too little. Too little of an iron in there, huh?
Yep. What?
Talk to myself.
Oh.
When you change bobbins, do you say happy birthday to?
Huh? I have no idea.
Never mind, it's not a question.
All right, last piece, and then I'm going to sew together my borders. That way all I can just do is pressing for a few minutes. What is going on here? Stop it.
Doesn't like you.
No, every time I even move my knee lift, all of a sudden it's yanking the thread out like something was stuck down in the bottom or something, and it just pops right out. Get. There we go. Driving me nuts. Not wanting me to use the knee lift today or something. Just keeps popping it out. I'll just do that. Whatever. Snip off the excess thread and just throw that in the garbage. All right. So I'm going to put all these stacked up nicely, and we'll press all those at one time. And then I'm going to prep all this, which will be my first border. That way it can get pressed all while I'm over there. And then everything will be ready.
Right as rain.
Yep. All right. Cut all the selvages off all at the same time. Look at that.
Have you heard anything from Teresa Louise?
I have not, but I did notice I spammed my Instagram last night. I never remember to post projects after I make them. And then I one day say, oh, You know, I need to empty my phone. So last night was one of those, oh, I should empty my phone things. And I spammed it so much of so many posts in a row that Instagram actually messaged me and removed like 4 of my posts because I spammed it. So I obviously need to repost the things that I posted, but I did see that she liked my pictures on there. So I know she's well if she's playing on Instagram.
Do you use HLX5 needles or HAX1?
I will tell you in just a minute when I finish this. I don't ever remember until I have to buy. Then when I have to buy them, then I look to make sure. I use HLX5 9014 titanium coated organ needles. All right, I'm gonna snip these apart, and then I'll have my one super long strip. I'm going to have Scott turn the camera, and you guys can just watch me press rows for a minute.
I was gonna put up an auction, or do they want to see you press rows?
Scott's gonna put up an auction then, I guess.
Well, I was planning. That's okay with me.
Yep, that's fine. Auctions are only during the live stream. Most of them start out at $10. So this is something I just made literally last week from my open gate box, and it's starting out at 10. He will bring it close and show you after you stare at it for a second. It has been folded up over here in a pile, so it looks kind of weird.
Where do you buy your needles?
I buy my needles at Superior Threads. Which there will be a link to Superior Threads in the chat eventually. Oh. All right. Border is nice and pressed. Now I need to bring my rows up here and press them.
It's free shipping in the U.S.?
It's free shipping within the U.S. They can hear you.
But anyone else has to pay?
And anyone else outside of the U.S., you'll have to pay your shipping. Okay, I need this to sit right here for a second because that's the bottom row.
What's the best way to line up sashing with cornerstones?
The best way to line up sashing with cornerstones is to make sure that your cuts are correct. All right, so this is row 9, that's row 10. So I want it to start up here. So I'm just going to nest my seams and sew it up. Oh yeah, this is a two-sided quilt. It's 20 I think it's 24 or something like that. I got it right here. I'm quicker.
I don't like yours though. Yours
It's
annoys me.
25.5 square. Alright. Just giving it a quick press over here, and I'm gonna put these two back on the wall so they don't get nothing out of order. They could go way down here for now. All right, next two.
Come on, bring it. Show it closer.
You might have to go slower than that.
I want to go slow in the back. That way they can see the quilt.
It's just quilted with a meander because it's two-sided and I didn't want to lose anything. All right.
Somewhere at 55.
We're at 55. This way.
right. I think Wendy has it at 55.
Wendy has, what did you say?
Wendy at 55.
Wendy has it at 55 going once. Wendy for 55 going twice. Sold to Wendy for 55. Send us an email with how you would like to pay and the payment we uses the PayPal, Zelle, or Venmo. And then obviously we'll eventually need your address and so on and so forth to go with that.
I figured we want to take that down now.
Yes.
Because you're putting that up. That's why we called it.
Just stay long enough to sew. Okay, well, that is an odd thing that I can fix while I'm right here. Every now and then the seam at the end comes apart, and you know, that's what happened. I did trim these blocks. You know, so some of the seams will eventually fall apart if not sewn right away. All right, 2 more to make a combo out of.
What size needle do you use for piecing?
Uh,
I think you said.
I
but
use
forgot.
90-14.
Do you want a pin cushion collection?
Do I what?
Want a pin cushion collection?
I don't need a pin cushion collection because I don't use pins, and when I do, they literally sit right here in a magnetic thing. I don't have nowhere to put them.
Tell them to give them to a local quilt guild.
Huh?
Tell them to give them to our local
Yeah,
quilt
give
guild.
them to your local quilt guild or something. I just won't use them, so I have one pin cushion up on the shelf, and that's it. And it's a tomato, and that's all I got.
Is the spring in the bobbin case flat, or does it have a curve to it?
The spring in the bobbin case flat, or does it have a curve? It depends. If it's freshly brand new, it kind of has a bend to it. If it's been used for years and you're using your machine like crazy, then it's gonna be flat because your bobbin always rubbing against it is going to flatten it out. All right, so now I'm going to make sure this is where it goes. And it is, so I'm going to go right sides together. Right here. Alright, I think that's the top. Yeah.
How often do you change your needle?
I change my needle whenever I feel like changing my needle. I forget to. You should do it after every couple projects, but I'm using the titanium ones, so they feel like they last forever. Okay. I'm going to place this right here. And then this one goes right here.
they buy something using one of your links, do we know if we get the credit?
When somebody uses one of my links, I will know within 1 or 2 days. But if you don't tell me, then I don't know, because a lot of people have used SewingMachinesPlus one and we don't get the credit for it. And then they'll tell us a couple days or weeks later, and then we're like, well, I didn't see it on there, so I guess we didn't get the credit for it.
So in other words, tell them just to email
Yeah,
us, please.
so email us. If you make a big purchase using my links, let us know by email, because I may or may not be getting the credits for those large ones,
And then
the
we have to
large
claim it.
purchases. And then I have to claim it. Because that means my link is either not working or their website was off at the moment that you made your purchase, which happens. Right, that's the top. It's right there. All right, last two, and then I can put the border on here. Border singular, because I still have a second one. I haven't chose the actual borders for all these quilts yet. I just have 3 of them that have a, this will be the 3rd one with the first border.
Do you have a quilt design in mind for what you're working on?
Nope. Question was, do I have a quilt design in mind? No, I do not. I don't think about that till it's on the long arm usually. It's very, very rare that I go, oh, I want to do this on this. But this is so busy that a meander or a loop-de-loop would be perfect. Because there's a lot of fabric in this, and you don't want to take away from that. And you're not going to see if I put roses or unicorns on here, you know? You're not going to see it. I mean, if I did a curved design, that you could see, or a geometric design you could see, or again, meander or loop-to-loop, but anything else, it's going to get lost. It's best on busy quilts to do a simple design.
Okay, what size are your stacking tubs right here with the white lids?
What size are they? They're shoebox tubs. I don't know how big they are. The box doesn't even say how big it is. Because some of them still had a sticker on them. Yeah, they don't even say. They're just essential multi-purpose. You can find these at Dollar Tree. Actually, Walmart even sells them, but Dollar Tree is actually cheaper. But you can buy a 10-pack of them at Walmart, I think, for cheaper than buying them in the singulars at Dollar Tree. Just depends. All right. Add the borders. It doesn't really matter. This is a 100% square quilt. So it doesn't matter what two are my sides and what two are my top and bottom. I'm just going to add the two sides and then add top and bottom. It would be nice if it was right sides together, though. That was funny. I was going to lay it on the wrong sides.
Should we do another one?
Oh, yeah, sure. Scott's going to hang up another auction.
Well, this one has hanging hooks.
It's going to start out at 10. You've probably seen this on an auction before, but it was never claimed, so we're just going to try again.
She's here so well. Oopsie. I dropped the penny.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and flip this around to the other side.
You know what? It doesn't need the hanging hookies.
All right.
Were you ironing one?
Yes.
Ooh, because we out of water.
add sides. I just literally turn it. Sides, top, bottom, it doesn't matter. As long as I do 2 different sides and then 2 different sides. That's all that matters. Because this is not directional, so it doesn't matter. Alright, I'm going to finger press this in. Come a little bit closer. Flatten it out. So this is a 2.5-inch border. I'm thinking for the rest of the quilts, for this quilt and the other ones that I'm doing, I think I'm going to cut 6.5-inch strips from whatever fabric I choose to be the second border on everything that I do. Since I, instead of doing the 10 by 12 or whatever I had going on last time, I went 10 by 10 on everything. This will be the smallest of them all because this one has 6.5-inch blocks. The other one of them has 7-inch and the other one has 7.5. So they're all different sizes. Alright. Finger press. All right, I'm going to press this and then I'll put it back up on the wall.
Okay, while you're doing that, I'll bring it up so they can see. Since you're not on camera. Oh, I can show them the back first. Are you doing a second border on this quilt?
Yep, this will get a second border. This is just one for now. I just haven't chose the fabric for the borders for these quilts yet.
Stay on its own. Oh, look at that.
Maybe.
Staying on its own. See how long it stays on its own.
All right. I'll show you all in a second. Actually, I'll show all three of the ones that are so far ready for borders. How about that?
I think we're at 55 on this one. What?
I was trying to see where it says it.
Oh, it's way up there.
I didn't see.
Are you gonna just stare at this? Or you gonna
Okay,
talk to
so
people?
Darina,
Huh?
is that who's got it?
I don't know.
I think
Oh,
we think
we're
it's
not
at
calling it.
55
Mhm.
so far.
I don't know. I asked him and no
Well,
one
I have to
answered.
pull it down so I can show these quilts. So
I asked him and nobody answered, so I don't know where we are. It's way up here.
I will hang it up after I hang this up. So you're still betting on that. But momentarily, I'm going to put this up on the wall. It may not be straight because I cannot ever hang these straight. So if it looks crooked, that's not my fault. There you go. Smooth it out as best as possible. Okay, so there's that one. That's what it looks like. I'll hang this back up real quick. For a moment. And then I will show you guys what the other ones look like. They don't have borders yet, so. There's one. All sorts of everything fabrics. But these ones have the same color going on all four sides of the center squares. So this one is a flowery one. This one is a leafy accent yellow, and this one, they're all over the place. The accents, they're just kind of randomly everywhere. No particular design with them. So I just need to choose a second border for all of these. And then make the fourth one. And then we'll be making a fifth one on camera. The fourth one I'm doing off camera though. Because it's not going to have an accent color. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't thought about it. But for now, 3 are now ready for a last border.
Why don't you show them that and then we'll call it?
Show them what?
Well, you're done, aren't you?
Yeah, this.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Were you ready to get off?
Yeah,
It's early.
I'm done. Just waiting for this to go. Okay, what is it at?
55.
To whom?
If I can't pronounce it, you can't. Dorania?
Durania?
Call her Miss LeBron.
Miss LeBron?
Yeah. We'll call her Miss LeBron.
Miss LeBron at 55 going once. 55 going twice. Sold for 55. So Miss LeBron, please send us an email. Let us know how you'd like to pay, either PayPal, Venmo, or Zelle. And then
That's 10
give
less
us
for
an
than what
address.
it went for last time, so you got a deal.
Yeah. All right, so let me take this down so you guys can see my wonky one. I think it looks fabulous. I wanted wonky, and I got super wonky. Oh, you can tip the camera up, I guess, so they can see the whole thing. Or
It's
back,
good.
maybe.
It's good.
I don't know. It's almost all in the picture. All right, so that's all I got. So I got 3 done. I have the 4th one, again, is going to be, let me just grab it real quick so you can see. Here is a stack for the 4th one. They're just all straight solid pieces all the way around again. And then for the 5th quilt, all the 2.5 inch leftovers will go for the 5th quilt. So this will be the 4th one. This will be 8 across by 10 down. And then the 5th one will be the other way. And somebody came to say hi. Right at the end, he says, I think it's time to go. Do you see that? I think it's time to go. See, mommy finished. You don't want to be a camera? You don't want a fat belly? You don't want a fat belly? Please, people.
He says, leave my belly alone. It's his primordial pouch.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, that's all I got. Those of you who won the auctions, don't forget to send us an email and how to pay and blah, 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 blah. I'm going to get going. I have plenty of time to kick my feet up in bed and watch some more House. If there's no more questions, I'm going to go. I don't see anything. All right.
Do you ever think of entering one of them in the show?
I'm not going to enter any scrap quilts into the show. They're not really worth a look besides somebody who would want to put them on their bed or use them on their couch. I try to enter like whatever's into shows. Ones that are, these are too busy. All right. I'm going to go. See you guys later. Thank you for hanging out. And I'll see you when I see you. Bye.
Get no mail opening tomorrow?
Oh, yeah. There's no mail opening tomorrow. So
yeah, we didn't get any mail this week.
Yeah.
No
there's
mail.
No mail. So, all right. Bye.